Hi there, this is David, and welcome to a beginner's guide to Live Alive. With the upcoming HD 2D remake, I thought that it would be a good time to revisit this classic and tell you all about it, so that you know what you're going to be getting yourselves into. First released in 1994 for the Super Famicom only in Japan, Live Alive is nothing if not unique. Think Saga mixed with Octopath Traveler and Final Fantasy, as well as the quirks of a choose-your-own-adventure book thrown in for good measure. I remember before it was translated, everybody was saying that it was just the bee's knees. So when the fan translation did appear back on Christmas Day of 2001, I was thrilled, and I promptly finished it over my college break. However, it wasn't anything like I expected it to be, and I can't say that I exactly had a good time either. I spent the majority of my playthrough glued to a guide because the progression was just that obtuse. Not to mention all the missables, as well as trying to find all the right sequence triggers to get through all the chapters. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let me go ahead and start back at the beginning. The main essence of Live Alive is that you get to live multiple lives, in different times and different cultures. So right from the get-go, there's a choice of 7 protagonists, and you must play through each chapter in any order that you choose, before you reach the final chapters and eventually complete the game. The scenarios range from the prehistoric era to the medieval times to the Wild West, the modern age, and even all the way up to the far-flung future. That being said, each chapter was not created equally. Some play much more traditionally, with party members, towns, crafting, and dungeons. Others play more like Metal Gear Solid, where you have to use stealth to infiltrate a castle, and others are more jovial, where you set traps to protect villagers from invading bandits. There's even a horror-themed chapter where you solve the mystery of a vanishing crew on a ship, and then there's one that plays like a Street Fighter game rather than a JRPG. All the stories and playstyles are quite different. So are the playtimes. Some of them might take you up to 5 hours, whereas others can be completed in just mere minutes. And honestly, I think that that's a big part of what made it into an enduring classic. Just all the differences in every chapter made it so memorable. And really, Square hasn't made anything quite like it since. For instance, Golden Currency just doesn't exist. Instead, you have to craft. But that's only in a couple of chapters. And even though you do gain levels, it's more of like a Suikoden style system with level 16 as the max. Then, there's the linearity combined with the open-endedness. You have to play all the chapters, but you can play them in whatever order you desire, and many of the chapters have different routes to completion. Such as the ninja chapter, where you can choose to just abandon your mission, and then you'll eventually fail. Or you can go ahead and infiltrate the castle, slaughtering everyone in your wake. Or you can try going through without killing a single soul. It's completely up to you. The battle system is also similarly unique, with each taking place on a 6x6 grid. And battles either occur randomly, or they appear on screen, depending on your chapter. And each character takes up 1 space. However, monsters can take up many more depending on their strength and size. Then, you have positioning to consider. You don't just need to get near an enemy to attack it, you need to think about what attacks the enemies can deal from their position. For example, if you stand in front of a dinosaur's mouth, get ready to get eaten. Or if you stand underneath them, get ready to get trampled upon. However, if you stand behind the dinosaur, he can't really do all that much to you. So it's this kind of movement that makes combat so strategic. Also, while grinding can be required, don't think that you're going to be getting up to level 99, because 16 is the max here. However, somewhere around level 7 or 8 is plenty enough to complete the chapters. Also, the focus really does seem to be on the storytelling rather than the battling, so let me go ahead and talk about that now. Each chapter tells its own self-contained story. It's not as if the characters meet up, or as if the characters really have anything else to do with each other at all. They're all completely separate. As each chapter begins, you're going to get some short exposition, but then it's up to you to fill in the rest of the gaps through exploring and talking to all the NPCs. And therein lies my one main complaint with the game, and the reason why I had to be glued to the guide in my first playthrough. You have to talk to each specific NPC in a very specific order, in order to activate all the various sequence triggers to move the plot along. For example, Let's say there's like 20 people in a house. And it's not so much that you have to talk to all 20 of them, that would be bad enough, but you have to talk to all 20 of them in a specific order. First like NPC H, then B, then Q, then P, then F, and then only then, after you do that in that order, can you leave the house. But it's not just the house, it's the chapter. And you have to do this in every single region of the chapter to open up the next region. I mean, the game can be fun, but trying to figure out who to talk to, and when, and in what order is anything but fun. I do hope that Square fixes this in the remake, or at least puts like a little star over the heads of the next person that you have to talk to or something, because if it wasn't for that, this game could be an absolute gem, but the progression system just kills it. There are tons of secrets in many of the chapters, from super bosses, to hidden items, to just little Easter eggs. And thankfully you can save anywhere, which does help you find them all. And once you complete a chapter, you can go back and retry it if you want to search around and complete some more things, though you do have to start back over from scratch. I do hope that this video shed some light on this lesser known gem from Square right in time for its international re-release. So, let me know in the comments how you feel about the game, and if you like what I do here on the channel, please consider joining me over on Patreon for early access to my videos, coming over to the Discord to chat and hang out, or joining the Twitch for wacky streaming fun. The link to it all can be found in the video description, as well as the comments. I do hope to see you there, and as always, if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.